I am drinking mango sparkling water with an essence of lime. Yeah, polar. It's actually made with real.
Oh, it looked like 2 A's.
It's made with real polar bears.
That's messed up.
I think he just got some fur.
Anyway, welcome back to Between the Spokes podcast, an Anovia Wheels podcast, and guess what?
What?
This is our last episode.
Who are you?
I'm Gels.
I'm Sam.
But this is our last episode, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little pause because this has been really fun, but we have a lot of other stuff we want to work on and do.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is goodbye forever, but I think it's a little bit of a pause.
Yeah. I want to come back with like a really cool setup. I want to come back with like some, like a real podcast-esque.
I want to come back with more guests too.
That too. Yeah, because I think what we've realized is I love talking to you. I really do. But it's like we talk to each other all day.
We do.
I'm just kidding.
Talking.
It's really nice when we do get a third person in here, where like when we had Cadell on, when we had Mike Power on, even when we brought Jake in, just to kind of shoot the shit for a little bit. I think having some sort of third person to always have in there to kind of just change things up a little bit would be really nice. So we're gonna take a little break for a little bit. But what we wanted to do is kind of just go over what we all got going on right now, and maybe touch back on some of our favorite episodes or moments from the last however many episodes this was, and kind of reminisce a little bit.
Well, I think the big thing is we've actually launched the Trouble in the Kano.
I know, it is kind of crazy to think about, because I think when we really first started this, it was kind of really at the time when we were going through it all with the transition from Artisa to Anovia.
Yeah.
And that was kind of at the time where we first started teasing like the new wheels a little bit, and we're like, they're coming in. Oh my God.
Whoa.
Sorry, I had breakfast.
That's the micro right there.
But we're like, the wheels are coming in March. Actually, I think we said January. We're like, they're going to be here in Q1.
No, we said it was Q2. I think it was the start of Q2.
I think it was end of Q1.
Was it end of Q1?
I think that's initially what we said.
That was stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a huge oversight on our part. But yeah, that
it didn't happen.
There was a lot. There were a lot of stuff that happened, and now they're finally here, and I'm excited. I know you guys are excited, and I can't wait to start seeing them pop up on some cars. I'm so pumped to see that. That's like my favorite part of all this. It's not like, seeing how many we sell or anything like that. It's literally like when you guys get them and you're posting it on your story, and like you get them on your car and you're pumped, and like we get pumped, and then seeing what kind of platforms they're going on, because obviously we have an idea in mind when we make the wheels, like, okay, I think, this is what we're envisioning. These are going to go on, these are going to go on. And then you guys just go like batshit crazy and throw them on everything but that, and that's awesome.
Yeah, even on like the Artisa collection, like there's a white Crown Vic on Elders that we didn't imagine that was going to be a car on there.
Yeah.
Fiero. I mean,
the Fiero
early
is neat.
on. Yep.
I mean, even like the new gen Mustangs and everything, like we never expected the 19x11s to take off like they did.
It was a 350 Z and 370
that was like
Z.
that was a Z and G fitment for like fender to lip fitment, and it just so happened to work perfectly for those Mustangs on like air, like so. That went really crazy, and now we've been trying to get those back in stock for you guys too, but.
Those are tough, but like to touch on the Kano and the Treble, sales were crazy on those. Like you guys bought them up fast. And what was really interesting was for the Kano, the most popular size right now is the 15x8.
Really?
I mean, the 18 like
18,
sizes,
18.5,
are still really popular, but the by unit volume
is going crazy.
The 15x8,
that's awesome.
And it's funny because we saw, like Giles and I were talking, and honestly, we had a really big battle with our bosses at the time.
Yeah, they're like, why? All cars are big. You don't need tiny wheels. And it's like, well,
no one's making cool little wheels.
No one's making 15-inch wheels anymore. So we fought hard for the 15x8, and I'm glad we did, because it looks like it's paying off. So.
Yep. Yeah, and all the sizes are doing pretty well. The chrome is popping off.
That's awesome.
That was cool to see, because that was another one we had to really fight for. Like, no, we want real chrome, actual.
Like, no, do the spray PVD stuff. And we're like, no, that's lame. Do the real chrome. Like, it's gonna be expensive. And we're like,
how expensive? Yeah. But you guys are buying it, and it's been cool. We appreciate it, because it's so much work for us, and then to see it like actually work is fun. And what I'm most excited about is what you were talking about, seeing them on cars.
Yeah.
Because when we launched them, we actually kind of purposely just had them, the wheels themselves.
Yep.
So you guys could really see what that looks like. Didn't polarize like a car, like something that makes them like, you don't like a car, so you're not gonna like the wheel sort of thing. And the next wave of marketing is going to be showing them on some cars. So we have some cars around
so we need
here
your guys' photos and videos and everything else that you like to do.
Yes. Yeah, so but podcast. What's some of your favorite parts, Giles?
Oh man, trying to think back. I love looking back. I actually was like kind of going through when it was like the start of the drift season this year. And we were kind of like talking about everything where you were at with like the 240 and like the IS and where I was at trying to get all my shit together. And it was like the before and after of like the first drift day and like how excited we were. That was pretty neat. Now kind of being here, we're coming almost to the closing of the season. I think we got a couple more events.
Wild. Two more.
One in September and then I think the closer in October. So went really, really quick. This summer freaking flew by and
it did.
was, I think, 3 events got out to so far this year. We just had the last one this weekend, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been wild. And for me, I drifted on the Canos the whole season.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah, I had them on the rear. I was hoping to get my full set, the 1817 staggered set for this last event, but I think they're still getting shipped up. So
gotcha.
Unfortunately, wasn't able to make it happen. But yeah, I used the chrome set of Canos for the rear all year so far, and it's been through some abuse.
Yeah, I mean they held up great. The chrome holds up really well. I've dropped sockets on the chrome and stuff, and it's worked. But I think that was fun talking about that. I think it was fun talking about drifting before you got out there and then you got out there. But it's also fun. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, I think we learned a lot of each other's car history and a little bit more in-depth taste than what we're into through the podcast. I mean, we're friends and we like work together all the time, but like
it's like never. It's like okay, we're specifically talking about this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that it brings up a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Like it's to expand on, and having the guest on was really fun. Like Mike Power was super fun. It was really interesting to have him on initially, like the first time, because before he actually drove as a pro. Yeah. And then the last time he drove as a pro, and it was
just kind of get some like behind the scenes and like what it's really like.
Exactly. And same with like Cadell, like his behind the scenes and. Send messages back and forth with him all the time.
Yeah, because he's been up to a ton too. Like, you know, following his Instagram and stuff like that. He's been doing some crazy
learning how to weld
stuff.
in like his living room.
Doing that, and then just like the progress of the car, and you know, seeing him do his stuff out there is super neat. So.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and we had some fun topics. I mean, I think for you guys, we knew right away we didn't want this to be like we're going to talk about Anovia wheels. This episode's on the night. This episode's on the elder, like that sort of thing, because you don't give a shit. And like we could talk about that stuff all the time, but we're car people, and this is a good avenue for us to talk about car people stuff. So even just talking about favorite like racing games or favorite video games, like we're into the same stuff you guys are into.
Yeah, that one went off the deep end a little bit. I remember because we were just like, we should do like 4 episodes on this.
We easily could have. And I mean, there's a bunch of things I'd like us to touch on at some point, like when maybe we come back and get a guest on, where, you know, there's all sorts of stuff where you can talk about car movies and like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really interesting to us.
Yeah, and there's going to continue to be stuff happening too, which I'm going to be a little sad that we're going to like miss out on, because I know there's like crazy stuff happening with like the new Z right now, and like crazy dealership markups that are already coming out, and there's a whole bunch of like drama and like the show scene right now, like a couple like clubs or something, and it's just getting really weird right now, getting a little spicy. But yeah, I'm sure there'll always be stuff going on. So
yeah, and we somehow, I guess somehow it's because of our hard work, I think we're like through Anovia and FI, we're continually working with like people that we only dreamed to work of like a year ago.
Right.
And like what we've been able to do this year has been absolutely crazy. And like even just going back to Mike Power, like having our wheels on a Formula Drift car was crazy, like wild.
Yeah, I mean, we even had it was really cool yesterday. I know it was like for FI and stuff, but Hagen Racing came down and he just chilled with us for the day and brought the car out, and we filmed some content, and it's because he was in the area. He's one of the come.
And you guys loved it.
Yeah.
Like, popped off.
He's an awesome dude. If you guys, aren't following him yet, go follow him. He's a super chill dude. He's really nice guy. He was super cool to meet, and he was up at Shawano this weekend as well. And I think he's just kind of touring the country right now, just hitting up a bunch of different local tracks and things like that and having a good time. I'm like, that's the freaking life, man.
Yeah, it's what your perception of someone is online can be very different than real life, because I know up at Shawano, a lot of people are like, oh man, he's this pro drifter reacts guy, and everyone's kind of like, oh, I don't know about this guy, and then after like 2 seconds of talking to him, you're like, man, he's a really nice guy, he's a really cool guy, and he just likes drifting like us. Like, that's all it is. Yes, he might have a different motor in his Skyline than an RB.
Yeah, that might piss off the whole internet,
piss off
but
some people.
It's whatever. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, but to each their own. Like it, like do your own thing. Yeah. We talked about an episode of build your car for you.
For yourself,
And I like that episode. And it's funny, I've had a lot of conversations with people about that, where they were like, I don't know what to do for this because this person said that, and this, and then this person said that. And I was like, well, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you want?
And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's your damn car.
Your opinion. Like, what do you want to build your car? Yeah. No, I still, get that to this day, even like after that episode and stuff, where people shoot me a message on IG, or like, tell me what wheels I should buy.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you specifically what wheels to buy, but like, here's some like good avenues to look down. Like, I kind of like, I want to help them through the process of like coming to their own conclusion of like, maybe, like, what are you looking for out of the wheel? Like, you're kind of just like doing that kind of thing. It's like, are you looking for like functionality, like strictly show, like what's your budget? Like, these are some things to go look at. I'm not just be like, oh, you should go buy Anovias or RPF1s, or you should buy this wheel right here. I think that'd look really good. It's like, I want them to form their own conclusion, because I've been there, you've been there, and it's like, you got to take the risk sometimes. Just trust your own judgment, because you never know. And it might turn out not so great, but like, that's part of the process. Like,
and that's where you got to at least take some input. Like, you're going to be bullheaded and just be like, no, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And someone's like, man, I don't know, that might look kind of weird. Like, think about it for 2 seconds and understand, like, when it's on FI, but when we'll go live, sometimes, like the last time Dakota and I went live from the wheel wall, most of the questions were, what looks good on this car? And we each gave like 2 or 3 options, because we didn't want to be like, buy this wheel.
Yeah, this one specifically.
Because it's also kind of a little bit of gatekeeping of like,
oh, right.
Nope, you need to be this one.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if you have a 350Z, you need to put Wed's crons on it. Like, it's like, no. Like,
yeah, I know. Like, I did a episode on the Good, Bad, and Ugly of Volkswagen, and in there I talk about the Golf, and like, I think you can't go wrong with a set of like BBSs or rotiforms on it. But I was like, man, a set of TEs would be wild on something like that.
It would be,
It's like, I didn't even think about it.
Where,
like, I just said the generic stuff. Where it's like, I don't know, kind of pave your own path, do your own thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, if you're happy with it, obviously there's a line to follow.
Don't go with like negative 10 offset on an IS300 that needs a plus 30 to be aggressive.
Yeah, like there are limits to things where it's like, okay, like, no, you're just doing that because you have no idea what you're doing. But yeah, like you said, take the input, but don't do it for someone else or ask them to build it for you.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too that's been fun about the podcast is like what some of the listeners have like said, or like the people who have followed this a lot. Like, I can really tell, like, I'll get DMs and stuff about, or questions about things that we talked about, and it's been a cool way to engage with it. But the crazy thing is how social media has shifted since we started this podcast.
What do you mean?
So when we first started, if you remember, one of the biggest things for us was just like posting graphics and pictures on Instagram, and now Reels and short form stuff is like king. Yeah,
it is really crazy to think about. That's a good point, and I forget that has just like kind of recently happened. A week feels like a year here, but it also feels like an hour.
Yeah,
it's like the weirdest time.
It's like Interstellar. It's just like, what is happening?
Yeah, like time is a physical thing that we can like move. But yeah, it is crazy to think that has just really become in the last like year or so, and how that short form content has really taken over everything. And I know, even as like working for Fitment Industries and Anovia and helping out with the other brands here, it's like, YouTube used to be our number one focus. It's like we only focus on YouTube, and not saying that YouTube's dying or anything. It's just that there are people don't have time necessarily to consume a 12 to 30 minute video, unless they're
Where the
at home.
content's questionable of like, am I going to see what I want to see in this?
Yeah, it's like, if I'm just scrolling through my phone, it's like, oh, I can consume 20 videos in a matter of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
While scrolling through like IG Reels or TikTok or even YouTube Shorts now. I've never scrolled through YouTube Shorts. I don't know who the people are that are scrolling through YouTube Shorts. Obviously they're out there. I just don't know who they are.
The only time I get on YouTube Shorts is when I open the YouTube app and YouTube's like, Shorts! And I'm like,
yeah,
I didn't want to see that.
It is starting to come around a little bit. I hopped on it right away. I've been doing it with like my RC stuff and things like that. And it's like, at the beginning, it was questionable. It was like half of the stuff worked. You were lucky to get anything uploaded. If you wanted to edit something or like even adjust the volume, you were like shit out of luck. I'm just like, this is really something.
Yeah,
but it's coming around now. But like, IG Reels is, I know it's not been completely accepted. I know there are a lot of, it is weird because Instagram has always been the photo platform, right? That's where like you go to post photos. It's where you get to see your friends, the people you follow, kind of like a little like just real life behind the scenes kind of stuff. And it's, it's kind of sad to see it switch over to such a push on Reels, but I don't think it'll last forever.
I don't think so either, but I know we're getting a little off topic from the podcast stuff, but I do have like maybe a revelation I had.
Oh God.
So Instagram was very much the place to post photos and high quality photos and high quality content to consume. So as consumer devices though got better and better and better, and at the cameras, like the expectation, like people weren't doing filters, just high quality photos. And then the film quality or video quality of these cameras got better and better and better. I think Instagram realized that like people just like watching videos and the quality of this is so high. So it's a good platform to display content.
Yeah.
And videos technically like usually just do better than photos.
Right.
And I think Instagram knows that's what people want to see. So they're starting to push stuff as like you can create a full freaking movie on your iPhone. Like it's wild.
Yeah, it's true. I think, like I said, I think it'll really start to mellow out in the next couple of years of like, you'll really start to see I don't want to say divide, but like the kind of like the niche that each platform is going to build.
Yeah.
I truly feel like TikTok's still going to be like the funny, like raw, like real life stuff that's just like, holy shit, that's crazy, or that's like really stupid and funny.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna be like the trend stuff. I think IG is gonna be more of like the cinematic, like really high end, shots. It's gonna be, like you said, the really like pleasing, like that is really good. That was shot really well, put together, kind of like how the photos thing started. And then like YouTube Shorts and stuff like that, I think is gonna be more of just like, I don't want to say a behind the scenes thing of like your favorite YouTube creators, but like it's going to be like more of just quick stuff to go along with their pillar content per se of like, hey, here's like a little thing of like how we did this video or here's what's coming up. Just kind of like a quick insight before, you see everything put together in like a half-hour long episode or something. So I think I'm excited to see it. I just think right now that everything they're going through like their middle school phase right now. They're trying to figure out who they are, what they're doing, and people are, and I'm guilty of it. I post TikToks to Reels and Reels to TikToks and everything to Shorts and all that shit, and it's all the same. So it's like, kind of hard to separate it, but I think it truly will separate at some point.
Well, the cool thing about Shorts and Reels and stuff is like seeing our wheels in them, like organically. We're like, as more and more
going through, like, hey, those are.
And I'm like, well, those are elders. Like, man, those wheels look familiar. And I think the other thing too, like since we started the podcast, is just seeing our wheels out in the wild is wild. Like it's so crazy when I'm like driving through and I see a parking lot. I'm like, those are carriers. Like, those are our wheels. Like that's so crazy. And like I don't know that car. I haven't seen the gallery. Like that's
right. It's always
really
fun when you see like a new one pop up. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I don't know. Any other favorite parts of the podcast you can think of, Jonas?
Man, like I said, there's so many, and it's kind of hard to narrow. The video game one was fun. I think kind of diving back on like our first like mods and stuff that we did, or like,
that's always fun.
Our racer phase of how we got started and everything. And
going down memory lane.
Yeah,
like,
memory lane's always fun, and that was super cool. And I if we do this, or when we come back, I'd like to involve you guys more.
Yep.
I want to know, like, how did you get started in the car like scene? How did, what was your first build like? What mistakes did you guys make, or what are your guys' favorite games, or like what cars are you looking forward to in 2022 or 2023 or whatever? But yeah, it's been a fun time. I'm gonna miss it for however long we're gonna take this little break, but
I will too. I think we're gonna come stronger and better, having like. We hadn't really done this before, and we're like, if we're going to do it, we're going to commit to like some episodes. Like, we're not going to just do like 4 and be like, all right, that's it.
And who knows, maybe we'll have some new wheels in the works or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You guys are buying the stuff that we put out, so might have to put out something new.
I got one in the back pocket there that I think we're pretty much ready to go on. We just need to go ahead, so.
Yeah. We do have one for you guys that like more spokes when
Many
bigger wheels.
spokes. I guess not. It started as a lot. It's kind of dialed back a little bit.
But we could bring it back to a lot. Because technically we have the ability.
I can't do that.
Well, I think we're kind of wrapping up because we're getting weird now.
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys watching, listening, however it is.
Yeah.
We'll be back at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thank you guys so much for, tuning in, listening, sharing with your friends, just the overall support for Anovia in the last few years. It's been awesome. I couldn't have asked for anything better. And if you guys haven't followed us on our other socials, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook even, everywhere. We're everywhere. So go do that. Keep up with us. Like I said, we're always doing some crazy cool stuff. We're dropping new stuff as fast as we can. So yeah, go give us a follow on there, and we'll be back.
And don't be scared to message us.
Yeah.
Like, say hi. If you got an idea of you should do a video with this, like, we love taking your feedback because we're car people just like you.
Absolutely. Or if you're like, hey, will this wheel fit my car? That's like my specialty.
Message gels with all of those.
Crazy, so
yeah. And if you ask me like, what finish should I get? I'm just gonna reply with chrome. Like, that's all I'm going to say.
Sam's like, I like chrome a lot, and we worked really hard to get real chrome, so I'm gonna push it. So.
Yep.
So thank you guys so much. We'll see you at some point.
See you guys. I'm Sam.
I'm Gels.
Bye.
Bye.